new year, new hopes, visions, dreams, aspirations, and projections to improve on previous years and make things better. African economies are looking to year 2024 with hopes of making moderate economic gains. According to the United Nations World Economic Situation and Prospects for 2024, Nigeria's economic growth prospects will witness a moderate increase, largely due to government's reforms in the oil sector. The growth is estimated at about 3.1%. But to achieve this, the country must navigate through its domestic and international challenges. Hence, on this episode of Dateline 360, we will be looking at some key sectors that have direct bearing on the lives of the citizenry and their projections for this year. I am glad to welcome you to the program. Thanks for joining us. I am Momso Damien Ati. Nigeria has had to deal with several security challenges in the past and is winning the battle on many fronts. That notwithstanding, the nation is still facing pockets of kidnapping, banditry, secessionist affront on the nation's sovereignty. How is the security sector faring in this wise? The Defense Desk looks at some of these aspects, including strategies to make the nation safe, secure, and stable.
Efforts to combat banditry have seen increased collaboration between the military, intelligence agencies, and local communities. Operations targeting known bandit hideouts have yielded positive results, disrupting criminal networks and reducing the frequency of attacks. Addressing the challenges posed by kidnapping, security forces have intensified efforts at rescuing abducted individuals and dismantling kidnapping syndicates. Intelligence gathering and coordinated operations have led to the apprehension of key players involved in these criminal activities, says the Defense Operations.
I assure all Nigerians that the Armed Forces of Nigeria is here for Nigerians, and we want Nigerians to take ownership of the Armed Forces of Nigeria. We are not aliens from other countries. We are Nigerians just like every other person here.
Similarly, in the face of evolving security challenges, the Ministry of Defense says it is coordinating security agencies to ensure a comprehensive approach to national security so that there will not be a repeat of certain breaches such as the Tudumbiri incident and the Plateau attacks.
Our mandate is to protect civilians, not to kill, maim, or destroy anything. And that particular time, we're on the heat of pursuing some bandits within that general area, and unfortunately this happened. I'm happy the President, Commander-in-Chief has instituted a committee that will look into it critically.
And a thorough investigation to determine exactly what happened and take appropriate measures to see that it will not happen again. And if there are people who are supposed to be accountable for it, will be held accountable.
That the President is also very serious about this investigation he has called for, and of course the NSA also made it clear to all of us that this thing will be done within a time frame.
The Nigerian Armed Forces aims to strengthen intelligence capabilities, allowing for proactive responses to security threats, enabling quicker and more precise operations against criminal elements.
We have observed the migration of the criminal elements from the northeast to the northwest zone of the nation, and we are developing appropriate contingency to combat that threat.
Commands that have units that are expecting new platforms should start the process of change management, which involves aggressive identification of hazards.
In the first quarter of 2024, the Nigerian Armed Forces outlines key priorities and strategic plans in place to further strengthen the security architecture of Nigeria. Community engagement and local partnership is expected to take prominence via establishment of community-oriented security programs which involve local populations in intelligence gathering and maintaining law and order. Building trust between security forces and communities to foster a collective responsibility for security, as well as create a supportive environment for counter-terrorism and counter-insurgency efforts. Naja'atu Tijani for Dateline 360.
In this time and age, the nations termed as prosperous are those that have paid attention to developing and deploying digital technologies in all sectors of their economy. Nigeria is aligning with this trend and making efforts to find her footing in the global digital economy map by implementing strategies and policies that strengthen its digital economy sector and reap the inherent benefits. Well, it's another year, and information and communication technology experts are voicing out feats expected of the sector to attain the desired height.
Year 2023 saw Nigeria's information and communication sector laying foundation for the growth of innovations in emerging technologies and digital economy with the launch of the National Policy on Blockchain Technology, harmonization of documents for research, development, and regulation of new technologies such as artificial intelligence and robotics, including the development of national policy framework on digital literacy.
The benefits of these steps are expected to manifest in 2024. In a speed against time to achieve President Tinubu's mandate on training Nigerians on digital skills in the shortest possible time and creating 2 million digital jobs by 2025, the Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy commenced the 3 Million Technical Talent Program, 3MTT. The training should grow a new crop of self-employed youths who will take the digital transformation of the country to the grassroots in 2024 and beyond.
The 3MTT program also create allowance for job engagement. Beyond the train, the income going in is going to alleviate poverty. There is the aspect of software engineering, so we're going to get more innovations, and that would increase the numbers of startups that we would have, and that will bring direct foreign investment.
Other categories of training saw innovators, female entrepreneurs inclusive, gain digital skills to translate mere ideas to marketable devices and services. With more of this in the offing in 2024, more digitally inclined female entrepreneurs raises hope of tech-savvy business ecosystem, either in agriculture, health, and other fields of commerce.
This resonates with what we are trying to do in promoting additive manufacturing, where you can have these 3D printers, you can modularize your manufacturing line. You don't need to have a big manufacturing plant.
Additionally, kickstarting the Emerging Technology for All training program at NYSC camps and for children is a move that promises to build up skills hubs and could lead to the fast-tracking of artificial intelligence economy hub in the country. Our wheel in motion is the implementation of the National Blockchain Technology Policy, which necessitated the lift of ban on cryptocurrency and other digital assets. For one, the policy's application in the financial sector and land administration guarantees blockage of revenue losses, increased investment, and elimination of multiple allocations and identity theft.
Now, in year 2024, professionals in the industry are suggesting ways of improvement so as to have Nigeria attain its goal of becoming one of the leading ICT hubs globally.
I'm expecting that by this year we should have gathered professional academic resource together to be able to tweak the current cybersecurity policy and strategy for improvement against ascension in 2025 AI regulation. And I believe that we're already in line. We're ensuring that we regulate from our own sector. But beyond that, we should also be participants in the global talk on AI.
In as much as we've had a lot of broadband penetration, it has been very difficult having it in the rural areas. It has to be more about investing in terms of technological hubs, in terms of setting up infrastructure, roll out enough infrastructure to make 5G coverage to be as wide as possible, and also make 5G affordable so that as many people as possible can use it.
Nigeria achieved last year the National Cybercrime Center, which the main objective is to mitigate against cyber threats and attacks. This was a very laudable achievement for last year, which we believe that by this year, they would have topped up their game so as to respond effectively to any cyber threats.
The hope is for Nigeria to maintain its position as one of the top countries with high number of upcoming digital startups and sustain a financial support system for them. There is also emphasis on growth and patronage of indigenous solutions in the telecommunications subsector to create value and prosperity for all. Chimdima Ndubisi, reporting for Dateline 360.
Globally, aviation is described as a catalyst for economic growth. And in Nigeria, data from the National Bureau of Statistics shows that the air transport sector contributes about 117 billion naira, which is 4% of the national GDP, which also supports about 200,000 jobs. In this report, Nyenre John takes a look at challenges as well as prospects of the sector in Nigeria.
Over the past 63 years, Nigeria's aviation sector has evolved from being a one-airline industry with the then national carrier, Nigeria Airways, to the development of key aviation hubs like Lagos Murtala Mohammed International Airport and Abuja's Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, as well as significant changes that mirror the country's ambition among its peers. A breakdown of the country's aviation statistics, according to the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, shows that the country has 20 airports and many regulated airstrips and heliports, 23 active domestic airlines, along with 21 foreign airlines. However, this progress hasn't been without its share of turbulence as stakeholders have voiced concerns about ongoing challenges, including infrastructure deficiencies, safety issues, financial instability, and regulatory obstacles. Security threats and high operational costs have also cast shadows over the industry's prospects, giving rise to calls for a more balanced approach. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, says the present administration is determined to revolutionize the aviation sector.
Our local operators have access to aircrafts, and so they are struggling. Most of them we have to go and do wet leases in order to meet up their local obligations. All over the world, airlines don't operate. No airline operates on wholesale purchase of their aircrafts. Even the Great Emirates and the Great Qatar. Most of them have access to loans at single digits. We are doing 26%. Yeah, there's no way our banks can offer 26% to our local aircraft and they will survive. So what are we doing? We are talking to Boeing as I speak with you. We are talking to some other people to make sure that they bring in planes here into the country for them to have access to lease these planes on dry leases at very good terms. So that when we have enough aircraft here, enough competition among local operators, we can crash the fares.
Industry players say, in line with the 8-point agenda of the present administration, the aviation sector will optimize and boost revenue generation and ensure strict compliance with international regulations and standards.
Aviation is international, aviation is global. So first of all, we have to ensure safety.
Better performance, better affordability, cost for the flying public.
A great improvement in such a way that Nigerian aviation sector can compete globally in terms of infrastructure, in terms of human development, that is staffing, training.
For Dateline 360, Nyenre John.
The marine and blue economy, which is a $1.5 trillion market globally, offers prospects for countries like Nigeria to not only diversify its economy, but also grow its GDP beyond oil as the country transits from crude oil to blue. Correspondent Michael Olale examines the areas of opportunities.
If 90% of world trade are carried out through the seas and oceans, then it makes sense for any country to show determination in navigating through the uncharted waters in the marine and blue economic sector.
Nigeria already has a solid maritime industry upon which importation and exportation flourish. But the creation of a marine and blue economy ministry could be in consonance with a data from the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, which valued untapped opportunities in the country's blue economy to be around $296 billion.
A huge opportunity with loads of benefits. But what then are the scopes of coverage for the actualization of these gains?
It will also give rise to what we call the smart ports. Smart port is a port that relies less on human activity, but on tech, that is tech-driven. Vessel berthing, operations, cargo clearance, cargo delivery, cargo evacuation. Until it exits the port, all these are monitored through a sensor. It will also give a kick to the old traditional maritime sector to rise up and optimize their efficiency and competence in their operational performance, because the spotlight will be focused on the sector.
Stakeholders say now that the industry has a standalone status, it will give room for harnessing other vital subsectors like inland waterways, marine insurance, shipbuilding, repairs, and management.
Marine talks about our waters. The first thing that comes to mind is your floating assets, either fixed or moving. If you don't have your floating assets, then you are not even set to tap into the opportunities in the maritime sector of the economy.
Key players see huge opportunities in barge operations while creating a solid hub for seafarers.
If the government can invest and encourage people to build locally made tugboats and barges that are even seagoing, like we see the Lekki Free Ports now, there is a need for seagoing barges. But because of the costs at which these things are being gotten, you see people don't want to invest.
As a starting point to matching words with action, Nigeria is already weighing various interest rate options for the disbursement of the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund, CVFF, while the minister is discussing collaboration with private sector for the establishment of a shipping line.
Is born out of a desire to capture a substantial share of the estimated $1 billion other ship charter market within the country, and create and extract more values for the sector, especially through ship construction, maintenance, and repairs.
There are diverse opportunities in the industry, with the Lekki Deep-Sea Port leading the way in port proliferation, while some stakeholders are suggesting harnessing inland waterways as vital option for passengers' mobility.
The issue of infrastructure is one of the major problems, and the automation of the systems in the sector is very key. Once that is done, it will pave way for so many advantages that will come, like decongestion of the port areas.
Port efficiency is what the major issue is. And so we need to do whatever it takes to improve port efficiency. If we do that, it boosts the economy, bring in more business, create more employment.
The communication and innovation, digital economy, contributing about 10% to the economy. We are contributing about less than 1% to the economy. It is important we get the roadmap right. It's important we get the legal framework. It's important we establish clarity right from the beginning.
The priorities for development have been laid, and with the gradual implementation of government's blueprint for the industry, then the economic growth envisaged will be achieved. In Lagos, Michael Olale.
And finally, among other major challenges in the educational sector is the high number of out-of-school children. The issue remains a setback to the development of the sector in the country. In this report, Abdullahi Musa Sleja takes a look at what the ministry tends to do to reverse the trend in 2024.
For decades, different sources have released statistics on the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria, which is not less than 10 million, the highest in West African sub-region. This development throws spanners in the wheel of country's development. In the advanced climate, children are treasures and assets that are nurtured to become tools used to bring about the needed progress of the nation. However, the reverse seems to be the case in Nigeria, as due to some many factors, school-aged children are out of school, unskilled, and constitute a nuisance in the society. Successive administrations have experimented various methods at dealing with the menace, but to no avail. However, the present administration, with the renewed hope mantra, has assured Nigerians of its readiness to provide access to education that will enable every child contribute meaningfully to the development of the country.
We have an annual work plan for the 2024. The issue of out-of-school children, we have given a marching order to universal basic education to improve on their infrastructural development. We are also giving them a marching order to increase on teacher training and also to strengthen their collaboration with state. Trend. Already we are processing a waiver to get us to employ about 3,500 teachers in the country. Those for the federal institutions. And through our collaboration, we have been paying advocacy visits on the state governments to see how they can also improve on their teacher enrollment. We also have a special group of out-of-school children. These are not children even, they are not children out of school. We can even call them mothers who have left school either at secondary level and got married. We have also launched a policy document in the ministry that will allow them to be integrated back to the institutions so that they can also continue their knowledge.
And the secondary and tertiary levels are not left out in the scheme of things.
For the first time, the National Secondary School Education Commission is receiving a budgetary line of over 100 billion. Though may not be seen as much, but our desire with that is to see how can we have at least 100 mega schools in the country.
The Nigerian education system is also reviewing its curriculum to focus on entrepreneurial knowledge, practicals, and skills acquisition to prepare the students for the world of work.
This year we are focusing on a review of the curriculum. There has to be some skill acquisition instilled in the curriculum for all the schools we have, and emphasis on entrepreneurship, both at the basic and senior secondary school level. This is what we want to have in the review of the curriculum this year.
We are looking at a nation where the National Library will support education by ensuring that people are reading. And we encourage state governments to at least, minimally, you have 36 public libraries. We are looking forward to government continuing the completion of the National Library headquarters.
With the effective implementation of policies in education, there is hope that the Nigerian education system is set to meet the global best practices. Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
Thank you, Suleja, and all our correspondents. We will keep our fingers crossed to watch the actualization of these prospects. Hopefully, they get majority of the programs executed to the development of the country, and then Nigerians will be better for it. And on that note, we say thanks for your time. Do join us same time next week for a fresh package. God bless Nigeria.